I know you loved you from the start. I know you loved you from the start. I know you.
Hey you guys, it's your girl Nessa. Welcome back to another video, and for today I have a makeup tutorial for you guys. So I'm going to show you guys this easy, flawless red lip. Who doesn't love a red lip? So yeah, if you want to see this tutorial, just keep on watching. So I am going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. As you guys know, this is one of my favorite primers ever. I use this on all my clients, and I do recommend to use more of a buffing brush, more of like a dense brush when you are applying this primer. After, I am going to be applying some translucent powder, just because, you know, it's in the summertime, so you do have to make sure your makeup lasts. I love this trick. And I did go in with the Laura Mercier powder and just tap this all over her face. So I am going to go in with my favorite foundation. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation in 360 and 336. So I like to use two foundations when I am doing my clients, even on myself. I like to do it lighter in the center, and I like to do a darker foundation on the outer perimeters of her face, just because I feel like there is no such thing as a perfect match foundation, because everyone is two-toned. And I feel like when I do this, the foundation just looks so much better. It looks more of like her skin, but better. So I do apply this all over her face, and I do go in with a foundation brush, and I'm going to be tapping and buffing this foundation. There's no particular way to blending, but honestly, you just want to make sure everything's all blended. You want to do it with a light hand. I know it looks like I'm being very heavy-handed, but it's just a brush. But you do want to make sure everything's all blended together and melted, so that, you know, the foundation doesn't look crazy. So I'm going to go in with the NARS Soft Matte Concealer and Macadamian, and I'm going to be applying this underneath her eyes, her forehead, and her chin. I really enjoy this concealer a lot. I do love the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, but this concealer is just something about it that makes the skin just looks more creamy underneath the eyes. It helps brighten the eyes, and then the coverage is amazing. If you haven't watched my old tutorials, you know that this is one of my favorite concealers. I do highly recommend for a lot of my makeup artists, or, you know, if for yourself, to definitely try this out. I believe you will love it. So as you can see, the concealer is a little bit lighter for her skin tone, so I do go in with Kylie Jenner's concealer, and I do apply this around her mouth. I apply a little bit on her under eyes, her chin, and her forehead. This concealer is more of a peachy concealer as compared to the NARS concealer, as you can see. And the reason why I like peachy concealers is because it helps just kind of neutralize everything, so it's not so bright underneath the eyes. But if you like more of a bright under eye, you definitely don't have to do this part. So while I am blending out the concealer, I do use a small brush to blend out the concealer, and then I go back in with her foundation brush just to pat around the edges so everything looks melted. After I'm done doing that, I do go back in with the beauty sponge just to make sure everything is all melted underneath the eyes, because you guys know the under eyes do crease. I like to do this technique a lot. It's just because I feel like it makes the under eyes just look so much smoother. Like, I feel like with the brush, it takes off the right amount of concealer, and sometimes with beauty sponges, if it's too wet, it will take off way too much concealer. So that's why I kind of do it after I'm blending out the concealer with the brush, if that makes any type of sense to you guys. So next I'm going in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is one of my top favorites. As you guys know, if you watch YouTube makeup tutorials, everyone loves this powder. This powder is the bomb. What I do is I press this powder into her skin. I make sure you use a little teeny bit, because a little bit goes a long way. You don't want to use too much, because if you do, you will have really bad flashback. So keep that in mind. After I'm done setting the under eye, the forehead, the chin, where I place the concealer, I do go in with the MAC Studio Fix powder in NW45. And I'm going to be applying this everywhere else where I didn't set yet. So it's basically the outer perimeters of her face. You guys know, this is my #1 holy grail powder. I love Studio Fix powder. I use it on all my clients, even on myself. This powder is going to give you a little bit of extra coverage, and it's going to give you that filter effect in real life, like in real life for real. So I am going to go in with the Juvia's Place bronzer palette in the shade Dark and Deep Dark. When I tell you guys, these bronzer palettes are so bomb, so bomb. If you don't have it yet, please go get it. They are amazing as eyeshadows, because sometimes I feel like eyeshadows, like, it doesn't have like the right undertones, and that's why I like using bronzers for eyeshadow now. And all I'm doing is just applying this into her crease. I am going in with the shade Dark and applying this all over her eyelids. And then I will go in with the Deep Dark with the top shade, and I'm going to just kind of deepen up her crease a little bit so that it adds more definition. Juvia's Place definitely did their thing with these bronzer kits. What I tell you guys, is beautiful, so beautiful, and it just goes on so smooth and so buttery. Like, I just cannot believe how good these bronzers are. So I am going to use the same exact bronzers to bronze her face. This is the dark one, and I'm going with that top shade, and I'm using just an angle brush, and I'm just going to be bronzing her outer part of her face. And I like to do bronzer on the cheekbone, almost like blush, because you don't want to do it too low, because sometimes if you do it too low, you'll start giving yourself like a droopy face type of look. And girl, we do not want that. We do not want that at all. So now I'm going to go in with the Dark Deep with the top shade, and I'm just going to just kind of deepen up her contour around her cheek area, just to kind of give her face more definition. Like I said, please go get these bronzer kits. You guys would not regret it at all. So now I'm going in with the Fenty Pro Filter in the shade Hazelnut. This is like a must do for me now. I'm going to kind of cut out her jawline, underneath her cheekbones, to give her cheekbones more of a sharp definition. And I'm just going to go back in with that bronzer kit and just contouring her nose. I absolutely love these colors to contour the nose, because it's not too red, it's not too dark, it's like the perfect shade for her. And I know it will work on all my girls, literally all my girls. And I'm going to go in with this small sponge from Beauty Cave. You guys, if you don't have a Beauty Cave sponge, please go get one. I will have it linked below for you guys. And I'm going to go back in with that Fenty powder just to kind of carve out her nose. I love this too. And now I'm going in with the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation Powder. And I'm going to apply this underneath her eyes and just dusting off the powder that, you know, I used to carve out the side of her nose. And I'm also going to do the same exact thing with the powder that I did for underneath her cheekbones. And I'm just going to go in with just some regular black liner and just lining her waterline. I am going to smoke it out with the same exact bronzer just to give her more of that smoky under eye look, because it just gives it more of a sultry look, especially with red lips. So now I'm going in with Sephora's liquid lipstick in the shade number 1, Always Red. When I tell you guys this is the perfect red shade, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And I'm just going to use a small concealer brush just to apply the red lipstick, because you know with red lipstick you have to be very, very precise. And oh my god, this red lip looks so good on her. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini tutorial. It's very easy to do. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Do not forget to hit that like button and do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Comment below your thoughts. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thanks. I love you guys.